you're watching The Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. The recently signed free trade agreement between India and the European Union has raised serious concerns in Pakistan, with warnings that up to 10 million jobs could be at risk and billions of dollars in exports could be threatened. According to the reports, Pakistan has engaged with EU officials to assess how the India-EU deal may affect its trade as the nation faces the possible erosion of its long-standing advantages in the European market. Well, former Commerce Minister Gohar Ejaz highlighted on social media that Pakistan's zero-tariff honeymoon with the EU is effectively over, urging the government to provide industries with cheaper electricity, lower taxes and easier access to loans to help them remain competitive internationally. India and the EU signed the FTA on January 27 after nearly 18 years of negotiations, linking the two economies that together account for about 25% of global GDP and nearly a quarter of the world's population, creating a combined market of almost 2 billion people. The agreement, expected to come into effect in 2027, will grant India near complete tariff, that is free access to the European market for labor-intensive goods, while European luxury cars, wine and liquor imported into India will also become significantly cheaper. Pakistan's concern stems from its reliance on the EU's GSP Plus scheme, which has allowed it to export approximately 66% of its products to Europe without paying duty since 2014. And this preferential treatment gave Pakistan an edge over competitors like India, which faced import duties ranging from 9 to 12% on similar products, particularly textiles and ready-made garments. Well, despite all these duties, Pakistan's textile exports to the EU stood at $6.2 billion, surpassing India's $5.6 billion. The India-EU FTA, described as the mother of all deals, effectively removes this advantage, granting India tariff-free access for nearly 95% of its exports to the EU and eroding Pakistan's market lead. Adding to the concern is the fact that Pakistan's GSP Plus status is set to expire in December 2027, and there is no certainty that it will be renewed. Industry leaders in Pakistan have expressed alarm over the potential impact. Kamran Arshad, head of the All Pakistan Textile Mills Association, noted that India has now become far more competitive in Europe and that Pakistan's GSP Plus advantage has already been lost in several sectors. FPCCI Vice President Saqib warned that losing a market makes it extremely difficult to regain, and that once India gains tariff-free access to Europe, Pakistan's exports could face several losses, and Pakistan's Foreign Ministry has also highlighted that the GSP Plus scheme has benefited both the Pakistan and the EU, ensuring a steady supply of low-cost textiles and ready-made goods to European consumers. Well, the issue has been raised repeatedly during strategic talks and meetings with EU officials, and Pakistan continues to engage with Brussels and individual member states on the matter. Well, as the India-EU FTA reshapes trade dynamics, analysts suggest that Pakistan has a narrow window to implement reforms in its industrial and export policies. And without urgent measures to reduce production costs, lower taxes and facilitate access to credit, Pakistan risks losing its foothold in its largest overseas market, potentially putting millions of jobs and billions of dollars in exports in jeopardy. That's all for now. Stay tuned to The Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.